Alright, this is a little addendum to my review of the Orbit turntable alongside the Q-Up Tonearm lifter that I did yesterday, and how it interfaces, or can't interface, I guess, is how I painted the picture with the Orbit Q. That is an optional accessory that you can buy for the Orbit turntable so that you can cue the Tonearm without having to manually drop it and lift it off the platter. So the base model of the Orbit actually only comes with the Tonearm, and you don't get a Q lever with or Orbit Q with it. If you buy the Plus version with the updated platter and as a package, you actually get the Q lever with it. And then of course they sell the Q lever for I think $40 US as an accessory to the turntable. So I purchased it with it. I've got the acrylic platter and the upgrades to the turntable. And so when I painted the picture, if you watched my previous review, you'll see that I mentioned that you cannot use the Orbit Q at the same time as the Q-Up lever, Tonearm lifter by Q-Up. Well, that's not entirely true. So what I did was I thought about it a little bit, and I got some double-sided tape, and I actually taped the bottom, a little bit on the bottom of the Orbit Q, and I've managed to mount it so that it's just ahead. It's not touching, it's not rubbing either the platter or the Q-Up Tonearm lifter, but I managed to actually fit the Orbit Q just ahead of where it normally gets positioned, because obviously the Q-Up Tonearm lifter is in the way, and by using the double-sided tape I got it nicely fastened right ahead of it. So what it gives me is a range of function. It's limited compared to where it would be in its normal position. So really it only covers about, I would say, 3/4 of the playable vinyl surface. So you can see that there is a gap between right here where the Orbit Q lifter ends and where the trigger mechanism of the Q-Up Tonearm lifter begins. So you actually have to have a gap of the width of the Tonearm itself in order for it to have proper range of motion. And also because it's not that long, I could probably modify it with a toothpick or something like that, but I'm not going to go that far. So really what it does is it gives you full functionality of the Q arm, or the Orbit Q, throughout. You can see the width of the platter, except for probably the last track where you can see the Orbit Q, I don't know what you call it, a lifter or ramp or whatever. But anyway, it works to about there, and then after that you'd have to manually, from there to the end of the record, you'd have to actually manually lift or drop. So you get about 3/4 functionality of your Q-Up Orbit Q. There's too many Q's in all these words. Anyway, so we drop it. Nice jazz recording by Miles Davis. So I can cue it up, I can move it along, cue it down, almost the full range of the album, except for probably about half of the last song. But you can see, there we go. So there you have it, a workaround. Oops, bumped the camera. It's my phone actually. So you can see that there is a workaround. You can use both if you're not as handy and adept at needle dropping with just your hands and picking up the stylus off the record with just your hands. So for those that have the Orbit turntable and want the semi-automatic functionality of the Q-Up Tonearm lever and have the functionality of limited functionality of the Orbit Q, that's a good workaround. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. I still highly recommend the Q-Up Tonearm lifter as my go-to. I'll play with this for a while, but I'll probably just go back to manually dropping. But That's just my preference. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.